Rated mature audiences only. Viewer discretion is advised.
Broadcasting from the Big Peach of Atlanta, Georgia. A show unfiltered, unscripted, raw. The Patriot Angle Podcast.
Alrighty, guys, welcome to the show. Welcome to the Patriot Angle Podcast. I'm your host, Mike. Guys, we got a lot to talk about. I want to get into the trending news, just what's buzzing, the political society we have here in the country and surrounding other areas here. I want to get into a lot of different things. First off, a news story coming out of Breitbart News with Joe Biden, because I want to get this topic in, guys. It's quite fascinating with this topic here with Joe Biden, saying that, he may be Irish, but he's not stupid. Oh, Joe, no. Biden insults Irish on St. Patrick's Day. We got to read this story here. This is pretty funny here. Joe Biden literally saying again that I may be Irish, but I'm not stupid. Keep convincing yourself in that, Joe. Just that's all you have to do, right? President Joe Biden, guys, literally celebrated St. Patrick's Day earlier today, joking about his Irish heritage during a speech on Capitol Hill. And I quote saying that, Father, before I begin, bless me, Father, for I'm not about to sin. Almost sounds like a haiku. Even goes into saying, he said as he began his speech by crossing himself and addressing the priest in the room, I just want you to know I may be Irish, but I'm not stupid. What are you trying to say, Joe? I mean, are you trying to convince Americans that, what you say in your speeches and your Capitol Hill, addresses to the nation that you're not stupid, that you have a brain, right? Or were you always the lion from the Wizard of Oz, right? If I only had a brain. But and then he goes into saying here in the article that Biden was referring to his decision to marry his wife Jill. What? Guys, we got to listen to this. Listen to this sound clip, guys. This is crazy. This is Joe Biden literally trying to I guess debunk the situation. Check this out, guys. Friends of Ireland luncheon, excuse me.
Father, before I begin, bless me, Father, for I'm about to sin. Well, I just want you to know, I may be Irish, but I'm not stupid. I married Dominic Giacopo's daughter. Okay? Look, thank you very much, Nancy, for that very gracious, very over-the-top introduction. I appreciate it very much. I just got off on the way up before I came up here. I was on that.
All right, guys, I got to stop it right there. Definitely got to stop it right there. Guys, I do apologize for the sound quality. That was taken off Breitbart News, which we will plug into today's show notes for those who are going to be listening to this after the broadcast is over, whether it's on Spotify, Google, or Apple. I highly suggest you take a look at that video in its entirety. You can find it on Breitbart News, or we will have it in our show notes on either three of those platforms, whether they're on Spotify, Google, or Apple. I'm even thinking about putting that. Producer Eric, we got to put this on the website. Yes, guys. Producer Eric giving me the heads up. We're going to have this on the website shortly after this broadcast on patriotanglepodcast.com. You can go to our website, and it will be right there in its entirety. You can view the video. The video, what Breitbart does is they actually start the video right at 15 minutes. So if you're seeing the video at like 32 minutes, it does fast forward to where Joe Biden is actually talking. Or you can go back to the very beginning of that video, and you can actually see the entire, pretty much the entire event, take place there. This was called the Friends of Ireland luncheon. Joe Biden literally attended the annual Friends of Ireland luncheon hosted by Speaker Nancy Pelosi on Of course, Nancy Pelosi has to host the damn thing, right? She's got to put her name on everything. But he appeared wistful by the spirit of bipartisan event, expressing his desire for more events with both Republicans and Democrats. Oh, okay. Boy, I'm kind of baffled and curious. They mentioned Republicans, right? I'm kind of curious on just how many Republicans were actually smiling, when it came to that part of Joe Biden literally saying that, he may be Irish, but he's not stupid. I'm sure they were smiling. I'm sure they wanted to laugh, but they can't. They it's just the president. He embarrasses himself on a daily basis just by him not even, speaking correctly, in his speeches. But then he goes into saying we should have more times like this where Democrats and Republicans get together and we actually not only agree on one thing, but we remind ourselves we actually like each other, he said, prompting to laughter and applause. Oh, okay. But, guys, I don't know. I just, what's there to say, right? I mean, what's there to say? But, after the speech, or right before the speech, he went into saying, my dad's literally saying that, quoting his dad, because his dad was Irish, right? He's quoting his dad saying that my dad's saying, no one is better than you, and you're no better than anyone else, he recalled. Not a joke. Oh, okay. Okay. And then after his speech, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi offered an Irish toast to the president before he left, but not before he recalled another saying from his grandmother. And then he quotes into his grandmother saying, well, my grandmother had one. She said, may those who love us, and those who don't, may they turn their ankle so we know they're coming by the limp. He grinned. Guys, I don't know. What's there to say, right? I mean, this is Stumbling Joe at his best, right? Stumbling Joe at his best. Guys, for those who are just kind of coming into the stream, we are streaming live here. First time on Spotify Green Room. Thank you, Spotify Green Room, for inviting us here into podcast chat. So thank you very much. Thank you. What's there to say? Other news here. I want to get into some other stuff here because there's a lot of trending news this week. A lot. I want to get into a lot of different things that's basically buzzing the headlines, what to talk about. what to talk about. Oh, here's something interesting. Biden inflation, right? We all know that the inflation is like through the roof, literally through the roof, guys. The Biden inflation, literally the Biden inflation, is said that a Philly Fed survey, now this is coming out of Philadelphia. The survey shows that the cost inflation right now in the United States is at its worst since 1979. So the inflation that we're seeing, high gas prices, high rents, mortgages, grocery bills at all-time highs, has been at its worst since 1979, right? Apart from this past November, it has been nearly a half a century. Yeah, sound effects coming right in. Thank you, producer Eric, for plugging it in. Nearly half a century since price hikes by manufacturers in the Philadelphia region were this widespread. So this is coming from the Federal Reserve Bank of Philadelphia. Said its monthly manufacturing surveys index of prices received rose to 54.4% in early March, with 57% of surveyed businesses saying that they had raised their prices, 38% saying prices were unchanged from a month before, and 2% saying that they had cut prices. Now, guys, except for the November of 2021, folks, this was the highest reading for measure of prices received since 1974. Wow. That's tremendous, guys. Tremendous. The highest ever reading was in February of 1974 when the index hit 63.8%. That's pretty alarming, guys. In November, the index rose to 62.9%. So the index of prices paid for materials and components rose 12 points to 81.0%. The highest, folks, since June of 1979. Their survey polls also state that the manufacturing firms in the 3rd Federal Reserve District, which includes Eastern Pennsylvania, Southern New Jersey, and Delaware. That's crazy, guys. Crazy. I mean, just in the tri-state area there in, Eastern Pennsylvania, Southern New Jersey, and the state of Delaware, right? Speaking of Delaware, folks, isn't that Joe Biden's hometown turf there? I wonder what he thinks about that. Wonder what he thinks about the inflation hitting all-time highs in his home state. It also goes to say that companies are still adding to payrolls despite historically a tight labor market. Also, guys, that companies were a bit less positive about the months ahead, with the Future General Activity Index falling 5 points to 22.7%. Now, this also states that the Philly Fed, noted that this remains are slightly above its average over the past 7 months. Now, if you go into looking at it, you can see that the measure of expectations for prices received 6 months from now rose more than 12 points from 53.3% to 68.5% to its highest level since 1981. Now, you want to talk about inflation. Folks, the inflation, it's under this Biden inflation is terrible, literally terrible. And this is only going on in Philadelphia. Now, it's going on all over the country, but I'm just using Philadelphia, New Jersey, and Delaware for an example. That's the inflation that's hitting those states. And those three states have high inflation, really high inflation. I mean, they're seeing their inflation the highest since the 70s and early 80s. When is this inflation going to go down, folks? Hell, we don't know. We just got to keep on praying about it. So, you know, what does Biden have to do with that? He'll just make up something that it's Russia's fault. You know, there's a latest article coming out that Biden is now blaming Russia for U.S.'s inflation problems. What the hell does Russia have to do with our inflation? He's also blaming the high gas prices is due to Russia. Yeah, that was the other day. Biden come out and said that it's all Russia's fault. Russia's to be blamed for its inflation, for our inflation, excuse me. So that's why we have high gas prices of $5 to $8 in some regions of the country. Okay, Joe. So you want to blame Russia for its gas prices, which I touched briefly yesterday. If anybody tuned into my my live Twitch show on my live Twitch channel at US Patriot Unfiltered, I stated this very, very briefly. Not yesterday. What am I thinking? 2 days ago. Excuse me. Today's Thursday. I keep on thinking it's Wednesday for some strange reason. But this past Tuesday, I had PJ Agnes from Archangel Protective Intelligence and my co-host on Tuesdays, Jimmy Durant, and we were discussing, the inflation, the gas prices and this and that. We got into a little Russia-Ukraine scenario on the show, and we touched briefly on the gas prices. So, blaming something on Russia, I don't think it has anything to do with it. I think the high gas prices are due to weak negotiations on the Biden administration, and I think that we need to stop doing business in other countries for our fuel and start pumping out the fuel from our own country here, because we have enough fuel. I mean, you can look right into the state of Texas, and I'm told that the state of Texas has enough fuel to basically be manufactured for the entire country. It's right beneath our feet. Why Joe Biden doesn't want to look at that scenario is on me. Also, too, if we had our glorious Keystone Pipeline opened and Joe Biden didn't close the damn thing about a year and a half, right? Year and a half ago, we wouldn't be in this problem. We wouldn't have these gas prices. We wouldn't be in this crisis to begin with. So, no, you can't blame Russia. You have to blame the negotiations on the Biden administration. That's just plain and simple. Plain and simple. In other news, it gets worse, guys. I'm going through all the trending news today. I was going to do something different. I was going to talk about another topic, but when I seen this, on Breitbart News, all these trending topics, I'm like, I got to get it. I got to get it on the show. Got to get it on the show, guys. A new poll coming out that 66% of Democrats are now believing changing one's sex is possible. It's biological sex is possible. That's what they're saying. A new poll. 66% of Democrats believe that changing one's biological sex is possible. How's it possible? Unless we have some kind of advanced technology that I'm not aware of, okay, I'll believe you. But how are you to change someone's sex? I mean, you can go all day and say that you're a man when you're really a woman, vice versa, and you're saying you're a woman when you're really a man. Folks, it comes down to it. If you were born with a penis, you're a man. If you were born with a vagina, you're a woman. right? Do we have to, label that on the show? I mean, plain and simple, guys. Plain and simple. A new poll coming out. This was just earlier today, actually, from MD Brockman. Not sure who that survey company is, but the survey was posted on Breitbart that most Democrats believe an individual can be either a man or a woman, regardless of his or her biological sex. And this is a survey coming from the Economist, a YouGov survey company through MD Brockman. Oh, okay. Never heard of that company before. Be quite honest with you, never heard of it. The survey presented respondents with two scenarios and asked the respondents to choose which statement comes closer to your views, even if neither is exactly right. The choices were as follows, guys, and I'm going to say this right here. Whether someone is a man or a woman is determined by the sex they were assigned at birth. No shit. Someone can be a man or a woman, even if that is different from the sex they were assigned at birth. Essentially, the poll asked if the respondents believed a person could be a man or a woman, even if the person's sex contradicted his or her biological sex. Okay. So basically, what these respondents don't want to understand is that on their birth certificate, if it stated that they were a man, right, a boy, they don't want to agree to that. So if you were a man or a woman, right, a boy or a girl, these people don't want to acknowledge that. They think that it was all wrong. How is it wrong? Seriously, how was it wrong to understand if you're a boy or a girl? I mean, I don't know. Maybe, maybe I don't have the same mindset that these half-wit lunatics have. But most Americans, 56% said biological sex assigned at birth determines if someone is a man or a woman. 56%, most Americans, right, believe that. That's very sad that we live in a country where, that only 56% of Americans believe this. Very, very sad. Although 44% believe otherwise. That's almost half, folks. Almost half. Almost half, where you have 44% that are believing otherwise. What do you think? The creator lied when he decided if you were going to be a boy or a girl? What do you think? The doctor looked at it wrong and said, "Nah, that's not a penis. That's something else," right? I'm sorry, folks. The doctor wasn't drunk. The nurse wasn't drunk. I think we can determine if a boy is a boy and a girl is a girl, right? I think we have we can comprehend that, right? I mean, I hope so. This is the stuff I laugh about on my show. Half of this stuff that's reported today, it's just it's crazy. It really is. However, oh boy, it gets worse, folks. However, a majority of Democrats, 66%, believed that someone can be a man or a woman regardless of what sex they were assigned at birth. What? They believed that someone can be a man or a woman regardless of what the birth certificate says? How the hell does that change? But that coincides with the statistic from the poll that 70% of Biden voters thought the same way. 70% of Biden supporters thought this way, folks. On the flip side, 88% of Trump voters said sex is wholly determined by what a person is assigned at birth, and 86% of Republicans overall shared that same belief. Of the independents, oh boy, you want to hear this poll, folks? The independents, right? That poll was polled, a majority of 58% agreed that being a man or a woman is determined by biological sex, compared to 42% who thought otherwise. I don't know, folks. I don't know. But then we have a cross gender that is in the that is in the Biden administration, right? The Biden cabinet, so to speak. ADM Rachel Levin, right? Literally put this out on her tweet, right? Relating to this subject, this topic. Thank you at USA Today for recognizing me as one of the Curious Women of the Year. Such an honor. My definition of courage. Be true to yourself. Be true to who you are, and then pay that forward by doing work for the common good. That tweet was out March 14th, just a couple days ago, believe it or not. Folks, this is a little barbaric, if you ask me, folks. A little barbaric. I want to get into one or two more topics here. That's just trending all over the week. This is this week's trending topics here. But before I get into that, folks, I want to announce for those who have not been paying attention to my Instagram, my social media announcements. Earlier today, I put out an Instagram post and a post on my Facebook page that on the Patriot Angle podcast this evening, this episode right now, which we are streaming live on Spotify Green Room. We are going to be doing a giveaway. That's right, folks, a giveaway. For those who can answer this question, right? And I'm going to say that in a little bit here. So don't miss out that question, folks. I want to get into the question here just in a little bit. But I want to get into this one topic here, guys. This one topic. You're not going to want to miss it. Just bear with me, folks. Yeah. All right. We're back on the show, folks. Having some technical difficulties, but it's okay. We will get into that question just in a few minutes there on the gift card giveaway. I'm going to give out the question, and for the first person to answer the question correctly on the show notes, whether it is on Instagram, if you answer the question correctly, it has to be in the posting on this episode. After this broadcast is over, I'm going to be posting the episode on our Instagram page and on our Facebook page. Our Instagram page, Patriot_Angle_Unfiltered. Our Facebook page, the Patriot Angle Podcast. You have to post your answer in the comment section under the episode, right? The first person to answer this correctly will win the $25 gift card to Chipotle. We're giving a $25 gift card out to Chipotle. Okay, the winner will be given that on this upcoming Monday. So, if you answer the question correctly, and I see the question is answered correctly, I will DM you, and you'll have to give me the information, whether your email or your phone number. It will be an electronic e-gift card to Chipotle for $25. So that is our giveaway for this episode. So stay tuned to that question, guys. You're not going to want to miss it. I want to get into two more topics here on the show before I close it out, and then we're going to follow the last segment for our $25 Chipotle gift card giveaway. So don't miss that, guys. Another poll here. I want to get into actually one more topic here because we are running low on time. I just seen that producer Eric told me that we have about 3-4 minutes. So one poll, is it 3-4 minutes, producer? Okay, 5 minutes, excuse me. So we got about another 5 minutes left on the show, guys. A poll just now saying just 1 in 3 Americans approve $50,000 plus Ukrainian refugees. What? I got to read that again, folks. Just 1 in 3 Americans approve that 50,000 plus Ukrainian refugees? What? Most Americans want to help Ukrainian refugees. Most of us, okay, not all of us. I mean, some of us are worried about other things like, the gas crisis and, the inflation issues and everything else. But just 1 in 3 say they support permanent residency for more than 50,000 refugees, according to a new poll by Rasmussen Reports. So here's my question on that, and I'll be real quick about it because I want to get into the question for the giveaway. We have a lot of crises here in the country. We have gas prices at historic highs. We barely can afford to fill our tanks. We have rent and mortgage prices going through the roof, and we have border crisis, right? We have more people piling into this country. Our inflation is at historic highs. I just read an article earlier in the show, okay? It's at its worst since the 70s and 80s. We can barely afford to take care of ourselves. How the hell are we going to support 50,000 Ukrainian refugees in this country when we can barely afford to take care of ourselves? Is this what this administration is all about, folks? Is this administration more worried about the refugees from other countries, such as Ukraine and other refugees, than worrying about our own? I mean, seriously. I mean, we can barely, take care of ourselves. Than to take care of refugees, right? I mean, seriously. But according to a poll, most Americans want to help refugees. Folks, I don't understand it. I don't understand it one damn bit. Seriously. Don't understand it. But what can you do? What can you do, right? I tell you, folks, I tell you. The two-sided poll literally spotlights how Americans struggle to try to balance their generous but conflict desires, to help foreign strangers while also preserving economic opportunities for their fellow Americans. Yeah, no kidding. Let's help us first before we worry about other people. It's not hard. It's not hard. Let's worry about us first. We just got through a freaking crazy ass pandemic. But, you know, this is coming out of the Biden administration. They influenced the hell out of it. Oh yeah, let's help out. You know, the latest thing, he wants to put out $80 million for Ukrainian refugees. $80 million. I'd like to see some of that $80 million go towards us first before we worry about other countries. That's not being selfish. It's not being hard-headed. It's the truth. The truth, folks. With that being said, guys, I'm going to close it out here, but I want to get out this giveaway question, and then we're going to close out the show. So I hope everybody tuned in today on our live stream here on Spotify Green Room. It's a first. We've never been on Spotify Green Room. I kind of checked it out. Producer Eric was like, you know, let's check out Spotify Green Room, Michael, and, you know, see how it does. I kind of like it. Got some good features to it. A lot of good group topics here on the app. We may be back in the future. Not sure yet. I have to think about it. But in the closing here of the podcast episode, guys, I want to state this question here. Okay? The first person, like I said, the first person to answer this correctly, and I will look at the timestamps at the comment section. So if there is a couple of answers with the same answer, I'm going to go to the person who answered it first correctly. And here is the question. Let me rephrase that. Who was the hardest hitting boxer in American boxing? Right? I'll say that again. Who was the hardest hitting hitter in boxing history? The first person that can answer that question correctly on either our Instagram page, Patriot_Angle_Unfiltered, or our Facebook page, the Patriot Angle Podcast, in the comment section shortly after this broadcast is posted to either one of those accounts, will be rewarded the winner of this episode's $25 Chipotle gift card giveaway. So if you answer the question correctly, you are the winner, and the winner will be given that digital e-gift card this upcoming Monday. So to everyone that heard the question, good luck to you, and you'll be given that opportunity this Monday as the winner. With that being said, guys, thank you for tuning in, and we will see you tomorrow on our Twitch show, Unfiltered Wild Friday. Take it easy, guys.
You just heard an episode of the Patriot Angle Podcast, an Anchor platform.